Hello, you're listening to ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast. My name is Andrew, and I'm joined today by the MCO carpet enthusiast, JJ.
Look, sometimes you gotta stop and smell the roses, and sometimes you gotta stop and look at the floor.
Yeah, stop looking up. Don't look up. Look down.
Right, there was a movie called Don't Look Up, right?
Yes, there was. And the destroyer of America, Sean.
Oh, I like that, actually. That's good.
If you have a good title for my co-host after listening to this episode, please send in your ideas to ReedyGeeks@gmail.com. In today's episode, I'm going to share some takeaways from my most recent and very short trip to Walt Disney World. So I just got back from Walt Disney World on a late planned trip. And so today I'm going to tell you guys some takeaways from my very short trip. But before we get into that, we have some big news and announcement. Kind of sound like some housekeeping to take care of.
Mousekeeping?
Mousekeeping. I like that. Yeah. That we're going to, that we need to make the listeners aware of, right? Next month, we have a big event coming out, right? And we're calling it Mouse Madness for legal reasons. We can't call it something else that we wanted to call it.
Is that right? Is that a trademark thing?
It is a trademark thing. You can't, apparently the month of March has a certain trademark from a certain tournament.
That's also why you can't say the name of the big game that just recently happened.
I'm sure that I'm sure we've said a lot of things that we're not allowed to say on this podcast.
What is it? The superb
owl.
Owl?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to say the big game.
The big game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Mouse Madness. We're putting 64 Disney World bars head to head in an epic bracket showdown to determine the ultimate drinking spot at Walt Disney World.
There we go.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
This is still a family podcast.
It is.
I mean, we don't really cuss.
No.
I bleep it.
Oh, the last episode was
I bleeped them.
We were in rare form though of
Which one was that?
cursing. Our match 5 game.
Oh, the game episode?
Yeah.
I promise we are good boys.
We are good
fully
boys.
fully bleeped.
Well, the audience should be prepared because we've got 4 stacked regions with park bars, resort bars, Disney Springs bars, and restaurant bars. And we're going to be debating, voting, and we're going to allow the audience members to have a say in which bar becomes the best bar too. We're going to ask all of our audience members to fill out a bracket of what bars they think are the best bars. You're going to be able to find this bracket with the seating available on our Instagram.
Wherever you follow us, and then you'll be able to submit it. This way you can play along and cheer for your favorite spot.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes for this episode. So if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening, you can just hit the more details or episode details, and the link will be down there, as well as the link to our Instagram account as well. So you guys are going to have a say in what's going to be the best bar. We're going to have one whole vote dedicated to the audience vote. So it'll be the 3 of us voting, and then the audience gets a vote.
And maybe we should even, if someone really nails the bracket, maybe there are some things we can give away.
Perfect bracket challenge.
Well, perfect bracket, that's asking a lot. But maybe the person that does the best, maybe we can give them a little something, send them a prize.
A little something.
A little maybe Reedy Geek merch.
A trip to Disney World.
Some geeky merch.
Yeah, maybe like a dad hat or a beanie or something.
We have those?
We do.
Wow.
It's going to be a great time. Tune in into March for our Mouse Madness, Bar Madness.
It's Bar Madness.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
See you in Pittsburgh. Can't wait.
All right. So I recently went to Walt Disney World, got back on Sunday, and this trip was planned on the Sunday of the championship game in the NFL championship game. So
I was going to ask what prompted the trip planning, Andrew.
So this was just a sad trip.
Yeah.
So some people might like.
Well, it was turning a sad weekend into a happy weekend.
Yeah, so
Right.
you booked the trip to make yourself feel better.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So I'm a big Buffalo Bills fan. And when the Bills lost to the Chiefs, Emily, in an attempt to comfort her husband, who was rocking back and forth in the fetal position, saying, "That was a first down. That was a first down. That was a first down." She was like, "Hey, why don't we go to Walt Disney World instead of watching the Super Bowl?" And I was like, "Yes, that's a great idea." So that night we booked flights going down there. We're annual pass holders, so we didn't need to get tickets or anything like that. We got down there on Friday after work, and we came back Sunday afternoon. So we were really there for like a day and not even a half, like
Yeah.
a day and a couple hours, right?
Wow.
Really short trip.
That's
Keeping
commitment.
it brief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's trips like these where like this is the reason why we got the annual pass, because we were taking a lot of short trips like this post COVID. In the years right following COVID, and getting hit with $150 ticket, ticket price is brutal for 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Like there is no discount on a 1 or 2 day ticket.
Yeah.
So, they always say that the annual pass kind of pays for itself if you do 2 5-day trips around there. But I think if you have like 3 or 4 one-day trips, it does, it pretty much pays for itself too.
Yeah. Plus, you get some discounts, right? You get the annual pass holder discounts as well
Yes.
on some of the stuff. So
Yeah.
it kind of makes up for a little bit of that if it's like real close.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have access. There's one level of annual passes that is that's traditionally just for Florida residents, but being a DVC member, they allow you to buy that pass. So it's not the most expensive one. It's the second expensive.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't there's not many blackout dates. The only blackout dates are the week of Thanksgiving and the 2 weeks of Christmas and New Year. So
Okay.
those are times I don't want to go there anyway. That's must be crazy.
It's definitely crazy, but New Year's Eve at the
I would
park
still
might
love
be
to
fun.
do New Year's Eve at Epcot.
Yeah, New Year's Eve at the park might be
that's
really
up on the list
fun.
for me.
Just one time, and
Yeah.
then because also if you time it so that you're not there for Christmas, but you're there for New Year's, and then you stay for after, like
Yeah, like you do Christmas at home, and then on the 26th or 27th, you fly to Florida.
Oh, I was thinking flying out on like the 30th, and then
okay.
you experience New Year's there, and then you stay there.
Yeah.
After everybody leaves, because everyone's going to
You
leave right
you
away.
kind of miss the holiday travel of both Christmas and New Year's.
Right.
You have to watch though, because you don't want to stay too long, because then it turns into marathon weekend.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So marathoners probably get there around Wednesday, Thursday, but I mean that could be depending on when New Year's Eve is. You might have almost a whole week before they get there.
Logic circuits working at full capacity. Let's have a safe and sane day.
Okay, so what did we do? We decided that we were just going to do Epcot. We didn't even do any rides in Epcot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got to a slow start. We were enjoying the benefits of Comfort Plus and had a slow Saturday morning.
Who
But-
amongst us is surprised?
So we only did Epcot. What was interesting is that we didn't make any park reservations because we weren't really sure of what we wanted to do until like the last minute. When we went to go make park reservations on Friday, Epcot was gone. It was sold out. So as annual pass holders still have to make park reservations, right?
Oh.
If you buy a regular ticket, a date ticket, you don't have to make reservations. But as annual pass holders, you do. Epcot was gone. Magic Kingdom wasn't gone, right? Hollywood Studios wasn't gone, but Epcot was gone.
That's strange.
It was very strange. So we were going to make our reservation for Hollywood Studios, and then we were just going to park hop, go check in at Hollywood Studios, and then
and then
head
take
over.
the sixth best ride over to the World Showcase.
Yes, exactly. We didn't have to do that though. I checked the next morning at around 11 a.m. and all of a sudden Epcot was there again. So I think that they want to discourage locals from being like, hey, tomorrow I want to go on Guardians. Let me grab a reservation so I can make a virtual queue in the morning and then decide, do I really want to go or not want to go? Right?
Oh, right.
You have to plan it out then.
You have that same tier. Right. Okay. So if they're trying to deter really last minute season pass holders from weekends at Epcot. Like they want you to plan Epcot because Epcot is the hangout spot.
Yeah, and they don't want you taking up a virtual queue if you're not actually going to go. You know, if it's like you try to get a virtual queue, you get one, and then you decide, you know what, I'm not feeling it today.
When is the park reservation system going to go away completely?
I don't think it's ever going to go away for annual passes.
That makes so little sense.
That's so sad.
It is sad. I mean, it's never booked, right? It's hardly ever booked. But it is a little sad. One thing I don't think that they should do is they limit you on how many reservations you can have unless you have a hotel reservation. So if you have a hotel reservation, your reservations are unlimited during their stay of the hotel.
Okay.
But beyond that, it's like 5 reservations. They limit you to 5 reservations.
Because what if you're a Florida local and you live in Orlando, or you live within an hour drive of Disney World, and you wake up on a Saturday morning, and whether you're just a couple or you have kids, and say, what are we doing today? Why don't we just go to Magic Kingdom for the day?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't make our reservations. We can't do that.
Right.
We're paying for this annual pass, and they're taking away your ability to use the annual pass to its maximum and just go on a random day that you wouldn't have normally gone.
So I would say that most of the time the reservations are going to be available.
Probably most of the time, yes. But I mean, all you need is that one time that
Right.
it happens, and it just sours you on it.
And you can always wait until after 2 p.m. After 2 p.m., reservations are no longer required, except for Magic Kingdom on the weekends, which is like another confusing rule.
Yeah,
you know?
That is a confusing rule because again, you could have just tapped in anywhere.
Yes.
And then hop into Magic Kingdom without any issue.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that will probably go away, but I think they're going to want to know how many annual pass holders are coming into the parks.
Why does that matter, though?
Oh, so that they can be properly staffed.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll ever really see parks being closed for capacity reasons anymore. Because I think that once they're going to be able to tell weeks ahead of time if that's going to be a problem, and then they'll just say, okay, no more season pass holders anymore, and then so anyone who's staying on property can still go to the park.
That's true.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Is that their ability to shut off season pass holders that don't make a reservation is too good, too valuable to them in terms of crowd control.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the worst thing is if you have a reservation at Polynesian, you're staying at the Polynesian, and then you want to head to Magic Kingdom, and it's closed for the day because it's at capacity. Like capacity was only hit back in the day on like New Year's Eve and Christmas Day,
Christmas and New Year's
and Thanksgiving Day, and things like that. But still, that's like got to be probably one of the worst case scenarios for Disney. Like that's a PR nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we started the day with Rose and Crown. We got a beer, so we started in
UK first.
UK. Actually, I'm a little too fast. We got dropped off by an Uber at the boardwalk. We wanted to check out the new cake bake shop.
Oh, you went there first.
We went, yes. So I'm sorry. We went to the cake bake shop first.
Where did you stay?
Oh, that's a good question. I didn't even say that. I stayed with my brother-in-law and honorary geek Michael and Emily.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we stayed with him for the 2 nights. We went to the cake bake shop, and it's really nice, actually. It's very elegant. The decor in there is pretty nice. The prices are very expensive.
Yeah, you sent us a menu, and It was like $30 for a chicken salad sandwich.
Oh, that's what that menu was from?
Yes.
No, thanks.
Yeah. It's very expensive. The food's expensive.
I saw a $27 hamburger and lost interest.
Yeah. The drinks were on par with the rest of with the rest of Disney World. The only thing is that you can get like insane bottles of champagne for, ridiculous amounts of money. So
that's nice.
yeah.
Trip's not expensive enough. Let's add a 3,000 bottle of champagne to the mix.
It just probably should be at the Grand Floridian, not on the boardwalk. Nothing about it screams 1920s seaside boardwalk.
Why is it called the Cake Bake Shop?
They make cakes there, and
How expensive are the cakes?
we didn't check it out. There is a bar at the Cake Bake Shop, and you can just go up to the bar, and it's first come first serve. But the Cake Bake Shop, I believe, was a very popular restaurant in the Midwest. I think Illinois,
Indiana or Illinois, right?
Indiana maybe. Yeah, I think Indiana, and so they brought that over to here, but
They brought it all the way.
It's completely different than the ESPN club.
That's where it is.
That's where it is.
Okay.
They gutted the ESPN club
Rest in peace
to its bones.
So there's not big TVs.
No, no big TVs.
It's a seaside, quaint 1920s themed little cafe with giant 60-inch televisions. I watched the New York Giants Atlanta Falcons 2012 wild card game at that bar. Yeah.
Nice.
Great game. Great game for Giants fans. And they had every stall in the bathroom had a big TV mounted in it.
Really?
So if you had to take a break and had too many wings and you had to go use the bathroom, you weren't missing a damn thing.
That seems excessive.
Who amongst us hasn't ever wished for there to be a television in their bathroom?
When I was a kid, I thought that was like the height of luxury. Have a TV in the bathroom.
Well, every stall?
Every stall. I have a picture of it somewhere.
How can you even fit like a big TV in there?
It's like a 24-inch TV that hangs from the ceiling.
Right in front of your face. A little.
The stalls are actually 10 feet wide because they have 80-inch TVs.
Well, I wonder, because, ESPN, we should see when the ESPN club was created.
The TVs weren't probably much bigger than this monitor here.
Okay. But if it was like the 90s or the early 2000s, those TVs may have been tube TVs.
Yeah.
They may have been like the TVs that were hanging in the corner of your classroom when you were in like middle school, high school.
Or like
they just rolled them in on carts. I'll be in stall 4.
Someone went to stall 3, roll in the cart.
Those little TVs that were
you have to keep the
on
door
a coach
open.
Bus back in the day.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Or on the Magical Express buses.
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace. So after the Cake Bake Shop, we went to Rose and Crown, got a beer, listened to the piano guy. Now, this is a big tip of mine. I love the piano guy. He started with Billy Joel, Piano Man, and had the
classic.
I know. Well, listen, it's
going to get played. If
so
a guy
cliche.
has a piano in front of him, they're going to play it.
I know, but it had the whole place singing along. Like it was pretty cool. But you can go when you go into Rose and Crown, and if it's during lunchtime, during the day, the afternoon, you can go into the restaurant section and sit down. It's free seating back there, right?
Oh, that's cool.
There's no one cleaning up after you, but there's also there's no one like seating anybody. So go find a spot, sit down, listen to the piano guy back there. He's on usually like half-hour increments.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool. We continued on to France, so we went clockwise.
So Canada last.
Counterclockwise.
Yeah. Oh.
Counterclockwise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Counterclockwise. Oh, and I have written here counterclockwise too. Yeah. Yeah, we went counterclockwise, and something I have never really done before. It was interesting. So we ended. We didn't even go to Canada. We ended at Mexico.
An incomplete trip around the world.
Yeah. We substituted Canada with something else. And I'll tell you what that is later. But it was very crowded
in the parks.
Oh my god! This is arts, the Festival of the Arts.
Yes,
and the big booths, the most popular booths, like in France, their festival booth is usually pretty popular, at least a 45-minute wait. It was wrapping around that booth so many times.
What was in the booth?
Whatever the festival food was.
Oh, it's still food. Food
yeah.
and wine thing.
My wife and Emily really wanted to go do it, go get that food, but it was just too long.
Yeah.
But everything was like, even the champagne bar in the back was too long of a line. If you wanted to get the boozy ice cream, that was too long. The bakery was too long. Like everything was just crazy.
The bakery, the line moves.
It does.
Line moves on the bakery.
Yeah.
When did the festival? Was this maybe the first weekend of the festival, or when?
No, it's been going on since mid January, I think. Right.
So just a popular Saturday, and people got
wonder,
nothing to do. There's no more football.
Are schools off?
So one thing about this weekend is it's a major cheerleading competition.
Oh,
okay. So that explains it.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of parents that really need a
break.
Alcohol.
I guess so. I don't know. I figured actually that Magic Kingdom would be the worst, and so that they would kind of stay away from Epcot because what are they going to do? And I didn't really see many cheerleaders, and they're all competing. It was on Saturday.
It was all dads.
It was all dad, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, they it was very, very crowded. But we continued on. I got a Moroccan mule for you, Sean. I got one for you.
Damn right.
And I enjoyed it. Right? It was.
He doesn't sound like he enjoyed it.
No, he sounds like he's patronizing.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I got it for you.
I liked it.
It was
refreshing. It was refreshing. And I could see how if I had been drinking beer up until that point, like the whole time. Actually, it probably was, but anyway,
it's a nice change of pace.
It's a nice change of pace.
What does your wife think of the Moroccan mule?
She likes it. Yep.
Doesn't love it.
I think Morocco's kind of like a duck into the, Spice Road table, get out type of thing. I don't know. Wow. I'll ask her. Actually, Emily, write in at ReedyGeeks@gmail.com or ReedyGeeks@gmail.com.
Someone please send us an email. Google's threatening to deactivate our account.
The day she hears this, she's gonna come home from work and be like, "Oh, so let me tell you what I think about the Morocco." No, I don't want to hear it. You write an email. All right, so we continued along. Mexico had a crazy line again.
You went from Morocco to Mexico?
No.
We're just jumping around.
Espresso martini.
Of course.
A beer in America.
Gotta.
Did my reel for
yes
for the Super Bowl.
Did you just carry around the Bills jersey?
Yes, in our backpack. I had a backpack. Of course, I had a backpack.
One day in Epcot, and yes, still needed the backpack.
Yeah.
Well, he needed the costume change.
Yeah. So if you didn't check that out on Instagram, posted a reel.
Did you go to the American Adventure?
We did not see it. No.
Okay. Did you see any of the shows, or besides watching a piano guy?
Nope.
It was just hanging around, walking, drinking, snacks, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you, when I put out my Bills jersey, I had a lot of Go Bills. It might have been a lot of people from Buffalo down there
that also booked. Oh, I wonder if it's a thing that if your team is going deep in the playoffs, that you book a trip to Disney World to try to catch the MVP at the Magic Kingdom.
Oh my God! Now it is. Now I'm going to do that every year.
So that I was thinking that a little bit because wow, if you were there. If the Bills went to the Super Bowl, you wouldn't have gone to Disney World. But
no, probably not.
If you stayed one day later, I mean, you could have gone to the Magic Kingdom and seen Jalen Hurts.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if reservations were booked.
But that is an interesting point that if your team is going to the Super Bowl, maybe you go down to Disney, you watch the game in Florida at your hotel at the whatever.
Maybe at City Works. I'm learning a lot of these names of these bars, guys.
At the Bake Shop's giant televisions, you can watch the game.
That actually could be like a good.
The cake bake shop never changed the bathroom TVs, so you're just watching the game in the cake bake shop bathrooms.
They're still on the cart. They got a VCR underneath them. Beer and brat in Germany, of course. We skipped Norway, and China has a really nice bar in the way back in the gift shop area.
Do they really?
Yes, it's a very small bar.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I can't believe that we didn't see it when we were there for your.
Yeah,
we spent a lot of time.
Spent a lot of time in China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mexico had a crazy line for La Cava del Tequila. I had to go outside to see if even margaritas outside would be quicker, but no.
There's the what is that? Choza de Margarita.
Yeah,
I feel like that line's always longer, even though La Cava is like the pull.
yeah.
They're both always such long lines. I'm just like, if I'm gonna wait on
If
line,
I'm waiting on a line, it's inside.
Right.
Cava del Tequila.
Yeah, because there's no shade for that.
And the
margarita.
margaritas are 10 times better in
Yes.
Cava del Tequila.
Yeah. Well, and you can, and for me, because I like thinking about like the volume of liquid that I'm drinking in a day. It's a great place to get a shot of tequila.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. Yeah, yeah.
Usually, my drink of choice at La Cava del Tequila has been just a shot
Just a
of
shot
tequila.
of tequila, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I usually get the Diablo, a little spicy.
I'm not a big fan of a spicy drink.
Me neither.
I want a drink to be refreshing, and
It doesn't always need to be refreshing, but I don't need it to. I don't know. I don't need it to burn me, sting me, make me all tingly. I don't know. Like the blood orange has, I think it's tahini on the rim, and that's just fine.
oh, that's I think that's different than like actually like
spice in there.
spicy, like
I think
a
they put
jalapeno
jalapenos.
margarita.
right, like
in
a
there.
jalapeno, right? Yeah, the jalapeno stuff can sometimes be like, well, now I need a drink of water after my drink of margarita.
I need a
Right.
drink after my drink.
Yeah,
So from there, we kind of walked around a bit, but we ended up at the Crew Cup in the yacht club.
oh, okay. It's the hotel bar at the Yachtsman.
Yes.
It's right next to the Yachtsman Steakhouse, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is it's a good bar. I'm excited for this bar on the
For Mouse Madness.
for Mouse Madness. Yeah, it is so good. It's got TV, so it would be a good place to watch the Super Bowl.
to watch your team win the Super Bowl and then go see the MVP of the Magic Kingdom the next day.
Yep. You have bar seating. You also have low regular seats, and then you have booths. And I think those booths are very comfortable. It's a nice change of pace there with the booths.
Steakhouse 71 has a lot of that too, like different varying heights with the bar and stuff. And then, but they don't have booths. What they do have is they have like couches. Like,
Yes, in those little coves, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's very nice.
They
which
also
is-
have TVs.
Yes, there are also TVs because we watched some playoff baseball at Steakhouse 71.
We sure did.
Yeah.
So all right, so then that was pretty much our day at Epcot. We left there, and the next day we went to Disney Springs.
Nice. Okay.
We got brunch at Summer House on the Lake.
That's on my list of like, I'm planning a trip soon and I'm like starting to think about like what stuff I want to try. And that's fairly new. And I keep circling back to that being like, I think I should check this place out.
Yeah, it's really good. Great food. The bar is really cool. It's an indoor-outdoor bar. Half of it's indoor, half of it's outdoor. And it's really nice view of the lake and Saratoga Springs. So highly recommend it.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a high of the trip and a low of the trip?
So I think the high of the trip was the piano guy.
So it started off on a high note.
Yeah, I
No
mean,
pun intended.
it started off on a high note, and I'm not saying that it was all downhill from there. Definitely not. But the piano guy was fun because there was a lot of interactive songs that he was playing, like songs where you had to clap along, and you guys know my rhythm.
Yes.
He's basically a musical genius.
or lack thereof.
or lack thereof. Well, I could not get the beat to clap, and he, of course, was like just making fun of me the whole time, and and it turned into like a really fun thing. So that was probably one of my highs. Yeah,
I'd say the low is
leaving.
the reason for the trip itself.
Yeah.
Or the
Bills.
crowds, you couldn't you felt like you couldn't do everything, like do the stuff you wanted to do.
You know what? It's funny. After France, we didn't notice the crowds that much. Maybe we were going in the right direction. Like maybe going counterclockwise, reduced the amount of of crowd. We also didn't get there until like 2 or 3. So,
but that's probably the peak of how many people are at the park. So if you're talking about you're in France at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
France is maybe the most popular country that's not Mexico.
Right.
Mexico and France are probably the 2 most popular. They both have rides. They both have multiple things to do. Yeah.
Yeah. The crowds, there were a lot of people, but I mean, as you guys know this, we have our own, like, not secret spots, but, in Japan, we went to the bar that's upstairs at the restaurants.
That's actually a nice trick. The bar that's connected to the hibachi restaurant upstairs is never crowded.
Yeah. Well, in Germany, we go to the quick service that's by the beer garden.
Right. Summerfest.
Right. No one really goes there.
That's the only, besides like a cart, really. That's the only place to get a beer in Germany that isn't in the restaurant, right?
No, there's a secret bar.
Secret bar.
That's like the wine bar thing.
Oh, yeah. So there is a wine bar that's in with the shops.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I do know where that is.
Which, you know what, leads me to believe that maybe they designed these Epcot pavilions to all have bars in the shops. Because Japan used to have a sake bar all the way in the back
of the department store.
Yeah, the department store, yeah.
Yes, that is true, actually, yeah.
So, I don't know. There's a lot of bars in shops. But there's also a bar to get beer that's when you're walking into the pavilion on your right-hand side, like before you even get to the fountain.
Is there?
Yeah.
They need to put a bar in that room in Norway that smells so good with the colognes.
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be good. Yeah, so because of that, we were able to kind of get around the crowds. And then also, it's so funny how a lot of these booths have 2 lines, one on the left side and one on the right side of the booth. And it seems like everyone chose just the first line they got to on the right side because most people are going clockwise.
Where you're coming from,
Yeah, most people are going clockwise. So they all go to that line. And then the other side, the line is like empty. So we usually made that.
So that's interesting. Maybe going counterclockwise is zigging where everyone is zagging.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then France is just, you happen to be intersecting at an odd time.
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting. Interesting theory.
How? That's proprietary.
Do you think we have time to read some progress reports?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. We haven't done this in a while.
Yeah, we haven't done this since our small progress reports after the DVC series that we did. And this segment is called Progress Reports because as geeks, we're on a quest to earn straight A's in podcasting. We believe in our scientific experience that in order to achieve this, we're going to need to go over your feedback and discuss what you're enjoying, what we've missed, and what you want to hear so we can be the best Disney World podcast we can be. Also, my mom said if we make the Dean's List, she will let us take the trolley downtown to meet up with the other boys for some sarsaparillas.
If you know what that's from, that line there, please email ReedyGeeks@gmail.com.
If you don't, stop listening.
Calm down, Rover. I was only kidding.
Okay, so the first one I have is from Sam from Long Island.
Sam from Long Island.
She has encouraged me to apologize to Sean because America is the worst country. It's pointless.
Just in Disney World?
In Disney World. In the Epcot Center. It's pointless to have the USA in the World Showcase because you're already in the USA. But you are right that Canada is boring.
I love when people value and validate my feelings.
And reason.
Yes. Vindication.
What about her point about that you're already in America, so why are you going to visit America?
Yeah.
I don't think that the World Showcase is supposed to be like a light speed transporter, right? Like you're just transported from one area to another. It's supposed to be a showcase of from a World's Fair, right?
Yeah, but we're in America and we know what America's
right.
like.
The question
is kind of one and the
was
same,
simply
right?
What is the worst country in the World Showcase? We don't need to peel back the layers of showing the history and the colonialism and the birth of a nation. That's not what we're doing here.
Whoa, where did that come from? I was only going back to like 64 World's Fair. I think that they had a New York pavilion. I wonder if they had a New York pavilion. Because you're in New York. It was in Queens, right? Did they have a New York pavilion?
I wasn't there.
I also don't want to make
know.
Sam from Long Island angry with me by harping on this. So maybe
if we're going purely by which country has the worst offerings, I don't think America is on that list.
Yeah, I agree.
I do. Thank you, Sam.
Don't think America's on that list.
Right. I think it's like maybe the third or fourth, maybe the fifth worst. I haven't really made that list. I just know the one that I like the least and the one that the few that I like the most.
Yeah. All right. So, how about another piece of feedback here?
Oh, I have a correction. It's a correction courtesy of Google. I spoke about a restaurant in Islands of Adventure that has a banner on it saying that it's the best restaurant in a theme park, and I called it Myko's. It's actually Mythos.
Oh, that makes sense.
So I'm close, but I was wrong.
Isn't the land that it's in something like a
Lost Continent?
Yeah, it's a lost continent land.
It used to have like a Merlin thing and like and now it's just kind of waiting to be bulldozed and turned into a Zelda land or something. I don't know.
So it makes sense though that it has the word myth in it.
Right, because it's part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's cool.
We're big enough to admit when we were wrong.
Yes. So then we also got an email from Tom from Long Island, and he sent us an email about his trip to California Grill.
Oh, that's interesting. We actually get emails.
We do. We do get emails.
I wasn't aware of this email.
Maybe if you check the email, you might see it.
Okay, so Tom says, "Hey, ReedyGeeks, my name is Tom. I'm a longtime listener and first-time emailer. I have a funny story about my experience at the California Grill. So about 12 years ago, I go to Walt Disney World with my family and some friends of ours. We spend all day at the parks and had dinner reservations at the California Grill. We have dinner and head to the balcony to see the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. My dad's friend asked me and the other people in the group if they want a drink from the bar. It's an old-fashioned, and I've never had one before. I walk out to the balcony to start talking to everyone and take a sip and immediately regret it. I can't keep drinking it, but I don't want to insult my dad's friend who bought it. I don't know what to do with it, so when the group walks away for a minute, I quickly dump the drink in the trash can nearby. I walk closer to the group, and I'm pretending like I downed the whole thing, showing off the empty glass to impress the group. I set the empty glass down at the ledge of the balcony, which I am sure you know is ridiculously high, being the top of the Contemporary. I turn to talk to everyone, and when I go back for the empty glass to bring it inside before the show, I see that it's gone. My arm must have knocked it over the ledge when I turned around. So now I'm freaking out, thinking I could have hit someone in the head 100 stories below with the glass.
100 stories? Is this as tall as Empire State Building now?
Listen, I think we should allow Tom some leeway in his story.
Some creative embellishments.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I would want to get hit in the head with an empty glass from the top of that roof. That's pretty high up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Well, he still wants to impress these people, so he has to pretend that he liked the drink. And his dad's friend gets him another old-fashioned right before the fireworks start. Let's just say that I was wishing that this night could be over while trying to enjoy wishes. You see what he did there?
Yes,
He's wishing that the night was over, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
Very clever.
Yeah. But he really did enjoy the food, the atmosphere at California Grill, and would absolutely recommend it to anyone looking for a great meal and an amazing view of the fireworks. Thanks for entertaining me every week, Geeks. Looking forward to the next episode.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I like that story. I have a feeling that no one was hurt with that glass situation.
I've gone down a list of incidents at Walt Disney World that have led to people perishing. No one has ever died at Walt Disney World from being hit with a cocktail glass.
Did you really go down that list?
Of course, it's not a long list.
What do you mean, of course? Who's gone down that?
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't just goofed?
How have you never gone down like a rabbit hole of like those kind of things happening at Disney
I
World?
wonder how many people have died at Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Paris.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I did hear the conspiracy theory that no one's ever died at Disney World, which
It is now completely not true.
Right.
has led to...
Because Tom definitely killed someone. So we know it's not true.
Like the story was that like they would bring you off property and like pronounce you dead or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, which is totally not true. Maybe we should just bring up all the debunked conspiracy theories as like an episode in the future.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, that could be good. Maybe a good episode. But thank you, Tom, for listening to the podcast and being a loyal listener.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing your story.
We need more. We need more people like Tom.
Email
Email us, please.
Please email us.
and write us a review.
Andrew and JJ to
I think.
check.
Reviews.
Speaking of reviews, I would like to read some of the reviews that we have received on Apple Podcasts since we last read reviews, because this is our lifeblood. The more 5-star reviews and written reviews that we get, the more likely our podcast is to be found by other Disney fans, and it really is extremely appreciated.
Because when you're looking for a Disney podcast and you come across and you're like, oh, they have 14 reviews or 14 5 stars or likes, you pass on it, right? But so we want to get that up there. Please go on and rate and subscribe.
So I have a review from PS2-23, and this is: ReedyGeeks is the podcast I didn't know I needed in my life. Andrew, JJ, and Sean bring the perfect mix of Disney knowledge, humor, and genuine enthusiasm for all things Walt Disney World. Each episode feels like a conversation with friends who know the parks inside and out. I especially love how they balance nostalgia with thoughtful discussion about Disney's future. The show isn't just for superfans. It's also great for anyone planning a trip or just looking for fun Disney stories. Plus, top 8 lists are always a blast. Give this podcast a listen. You'll be hooked in no time. That is a great review.
Yeah.
Thanks, PS2.
Clearly he listens too, because he mentioned top 8.
I would imagine that anyone who's leaving a review is listening. Someone want to read the other? This might also be from Tom, who submitted the story to our email address.
I think that is the same Tom.
Yeah, it's Tom L.
An email and a review. More people like Tom.
Tom L is maybe earning an invitation to the ReedyGeeks corporate retreat.
We did get one request to come on this retreat with us, the golfing
you did?
retreat. Yeah, Brian from Long Island requested to be on the retreat. He said if we have a 4th spot.
As long as Brian's buying beers.
Golfing?
Yeah, a 4th for the golfing. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Maybe
Yeah.
mix it up. Maybe we get different people in different segments.
I love it.
Go golfing with Brian
Drink old fashions with Tom.
from the top of the contemporary. We won't have any flashbacks. Sean, you want to read Tom L's review?
I sure do. Love WDW. Look no further. 5 stars. Your one-stop shop for all things Walt Disney World. The Geeks hit all the right marks when it comes to having a fun, informative, and overall enjoyable podcast every week. Every episode provides the listeners with helpful and important information about Walt Disney World, as well as fun and exciting things to do at the parks and resorts. Hands down, one of the best Walt Disney World podcasts. Thanks, Tom L.
That is great.
So people do listen to this.
Yeah.
That's right. People do listen to us, of course. Which will be good for the upcoming Mouse Madness bracket, because we're going to need those brackets.
Yes, we're going to need a significant amount of audience members to submit their brackets so that we have an audience score to help us with the voting.
Participate.
So, because each of us, the 3 of us geeks, will get 1 vote, and then the audience will also get a vote.
And we will have opinions. So we will need other people to break
to maybe break
some
up
ties
these
here.
opinions.
Yeah.
Help us decide on the ultimate bar in Walt Disney World. Oh, I did find a comment on Instagram. Elise wrote, "When is the Mickey the Mouse merch dropping?"
Oh, that was so good.
In reference to the obscure history where we talked about Richard Nixon referring to Mickey Mouse as Mickey the Mouse.
Yeah.
In the Oval Office. And
I thought that was just. I thought Mickey the Mouse was just a mistake you made saying. You said
no.
Mouse.
It was an excerpt of President Nixon in the Oval Office talking about going to Walt Disney World for the opening and what the optics would look like, because he just gave a speech about how we were losing the Vietnam War.
Right. And he didn't want to get seen with Mickey the Mouse.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they said we could do a private one. It's like, no, you can't just what's it just going to be me and Mickey the Mouse? That's the quote.
Mickey the Mouse. I think an old style Mickey, like one of those creepy Mickeys.
The creepy Mickeys.
And then and then Mickey the Mouse. And then dash Richard Nixon.
But, I mean, we do have a little merch that we will give away to some of the people that submit the brackets.
Yes.
We've got a few beanies, and we've got a few, unstructured, like a dad hat kind of thing, that we can certainly give away to the people that do the best in predicting the results of the bracket.
Yeah. And if you're interested in any merch, please let us know, because if we have a lot of people who are interested, then we could
maybe do an exclusive run or something.
Yeah. Yep, that'd be nice.
Well, that's progress for you.
All right, well, that was a good progress report. Looks like we're doing something right here.
We have some room to improve, maybe some work to do.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, we have a lot.
That goes without saying.
We always do. But Sean, would you want to take us out?
Thanks for listening to another episode of the ReedyGeeks podcast. Like, rate, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on all our socials at ReedyGeeks. Any questions, comments, future topic ideas, nicknames, questions, comments, concerns, email us at reedygeeks@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.
Oh, Miss Hoover, there appears to be a mistake on my report card. You gave me a B+ in conduct?
Now, Lisa, everyone needs a blotch on their permanent record.
This week's Honest Send-Off comes courtesy of Lisa from Springfield. If you have an honest send-off that you want played at the end of one of our episodes, please submit an audio clip to us via our email address, reedygeeks@gmail.com. ReedyGeeks, a Walt Disney World podcast, is hosted and executive produced by Andrew Shopee, Sean Murphy, and JJ Hefner. Music and audio engineering by JJ Hefner.
Bon voyage.